So are you ever in a situation where you're looking around at maybe your peers or some of your friends and you're looking at their success and you're wondering, how can I get there quicker than they are? If you've ever been in that situation, today's tip is for you. Hey guys, it's Erica Kastner. And since 2006, I've been helping busy professionals connect with awesome resources to grow and develop their business. Now, my hair looks a little matted today because I was fighting rain in Philadelphia. I'm actually traveling for a conference today. But I wanted to chime in for a quick video because there was a lot of things that were happening today in my travel days that were actually prompting me to shoot this video off my typical recording schedule. I actually talk about that in other videos, how we want to keep a recording schedule if we're doing anything like blogs or podcasts or videos, so we can really save time and be systematic and strategic. So side note, taking that side note off the table for a minute, I wanted to talk about the fears around feeling like we're not moving the needle quick enough. And let me tell you a quick story. So the other day, I was going into a partnership agreement with an organization that was going to help me get guests, and we were going to partner together for getting guests on my podcast, right? And so I thought this would be a really great win-win because I could help them showcase their organization and they could help direct me to quality guests within their organization, right? Well, they sat on the agreement a little longer than I anticipated. And of course, I figured it was going to take some time going back and forth negotiating that contract. And at the end of the day, I had to reach out to this organization and say, hey, look, as much as I would love to continue the conversation and negotiate, unfortunately, because we wasted all this time, and I did this very politely, I'm kind of phrasing it in such a way that I'm being a little more candid with y'all today, but I really wanted to have that partnership. But meanwhile, I'm not waiting for that one organization to follow through on the contract. Meanwhile, I'm worrying about my show, right? I'm worrying about the value that I'm giving to my audience. I want to make sure that I'm providing the most valuable information to the audience. So I was seeking other opportunities, and it wasn't like they were conflict of interest opportunities. They were just more opportunities to add more value. And because I was doing my due diligence up front and really connecting with other organizations or groups of people that would actually help accomplish the goal of providing more value on the podcast, it gobbled up all of the opportunities to speak or to be a guest on my podcast for the rest of 2016. Now, as I'm doing this video today, it's actually April of 2016. So as you can imagine, I have a 3-day-a-week show. I worked pretty hard in 3 weeks to acquire most of my guests for 2016. In fact, this week, by the end of this week, we'll actually have all of those guests scheduled for 2016. So I had to go back to the drawing board. I had to tell this other company, hey, look, as much as I would love to partner with you, we're going to have to put it on the back burner until next year. So I ended up running into a person from this organization, and she's like, great, that's so exciting that your show is taking off. It sounds like that just happened. And I chuckled a little bit, and I was like, actually, you know what? Here's the deal. I've only been working the last 20 years of my life to make this show happen. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that, because in reality, the show's actually not even launching until April 19th of this year. But I have actually been building relationships and building my skill set to walk into any organization and negotiate an opportunity to work out win-win partnerships with people. I've been able to really align myself with strategic partnerships through conversations, through asking questions, through being a valuable resource to those people first. Sometimes when it hurts, sometimes when it doesn't necessarily mean that it looks like it's panning out for me, I always looked out for the bigger picture, and sometimes that meant that I was offering things up front. I was willing to do things that no other person was going to do in order to get the job done. So with that said, for the other person that was saying, hey, it looks like it's just taking off overnight, that's not always the case. we're working constantly for these moments in our life to really take either our business or something in our personal world to the next level. Every moment that you're celebrating or you're going through right now is actually getting you to that moment today. So I want you to think about that, all those success stories that you see online or with your peers or with other individuals, and you're saying, how the heck are they doing that? Well, it's because they're putting in the daily action necessary to move the needle with their own goals. They're doing the things that other people are not willing to do. So the point I want to make for you all today is, what is it that you are doing right now or that you want to achieve? And what are you doing to get there? Do you want to be on television? Do you want to have a national platform? If you don't, that's okay. But if that's a goal of yours, what are you doing to show up in the television space right now? Or even if it's not in a television space, what are you doing to show up as an authority in your field? Whether it's writing a guest blog, whether it's being a podcast guest, whether it's showing up at a networking event that's going to get you another speaking opportunity to talk about what you're good at. What are you doing today to show up for that opportunity on television when you're finally ready for it? So I don't want this to be a Debbie Downer video. I hope I didn't put too much of that into this video. I really wanted to just share from a authentic place, and not that I don't do that in other videos, but I really wanted to open up and go a little deeper, because I think that we all as individuals, if we're looking at success around us, it's not always what it's all cracked up to be. There are lots of steps in the success process, but you've got to be consistent in those efforts in order to take anything to that next level. So again, what are you doing today to show up for those opportunities that you want in the future? Are you doing the things that other people are not willing to do? And if you are, guess what, folks? You're on the right track. Now, it doesn't mean you don't necessarily go back to the drawing board. You definitely want to check in with evaluating your process and measuring your results along the journey. But you definitely want to make sure that you're doing those things that others might not necessarily want to do. And that, my friends, will help you stand out and get you what you want to accomplish when it comes to growing your business or just rocking the life that you absolutely desire. So I'd love to connect with you if any of this is resonating with you and you want to come up with a game plan on how we can create the business and life that you absolutely desire. Email me, Erica@thequeenofresults.com, so we can chat and we can get you on the right track. I know in that short conversation, we are going to get you on the right track to knowing what your next steps are to living out your greatness. Until next time, I'm Erica Kastner. Take care.